Hello and welcome back to the channel. My name is Josh and you're watching our history. Today we're going over the Khoikhoi and the San tribes. So if you enjoy this, please be sure to like, and if you're new here, please consider smashing that subscribe button. If it's not your first rodeo and you haven't shown some love to the subscribe button, now is your opportunity. Thank you very much. The Khoikhoi and the San. The political, social and economic organization of the Khoikhoi and the San. Southern Africa has a rich history of diverse communities that inhabited the region. Among the earliest is the Khoikhoi, who were commonly referred to as Hottentots by the European settlers who arrived in the area. Another community that emerged around the same time were the San, who were known as the Bushmen by the same group of early settlers. These names were considered derogatory and are no longer used to refer to these communities today. However, despite the challenging history, the Khoikhoi and the San communities have continued to thrive and preserve their unique cultures, traditions, and way of life in Southern Africa. The Khoikhoi. The Khoikhoi people settled in Southern Africa after the San and were mainly pastoralists, though they are engaged in hunting and gathering. Unlike the San, the Khoikhoi lived in large groups known as camps or settlements, with populations ranging from 500 to 700 people depending on the factors such as availability of water and grazing land, as well as unity among community members. Land was communally owned and resources such as waterholes and mineral rights were shared. When the nation grew too large, the land was subdivided amongst clan members, which then operated independently. Despite their communal lifestyle, the Khoikhoi never formed a powerful empire due to their nomadic way of life. The Khoikhoi tribe, like many other indigenous tribes, had their own political and social structures. One of the most important bodies of the Khoikhoi tribe was the Council of Elders. The council was made up of a clan leader who assisted the chief in making important decisions and settling disputes. Discussions and debates were held in the open forums, and if a group within a community felt that it could not cope with the rest, it had the freedom to break away and form a new clan with a new name. As a result of this free-form structure, splits were common, and the Khoikhoi spread to occupy a larger area than the San. One of the main functions of the chiefs was to settle disputes involving different clans, thus ensuring a peaceful coexistence between the different groups. The San. The San people are considered to be the oldest community to have settled in Southern Africa, predating even the Khoikhoi. Their way of life was largely centered around hunting and gathering, as they lived a nomadic existence across a large and scattered region. Typically, San communities would consist of small units of approximately 25 to 70 people, with men working together to hunt wild animals and birds using poisoned arrows. This provided a crucial source of food for the community, although women would also gather roots and other items to supplement their diet. Despite their relatively small numbers, the San have played an important role in shaping the cultural and historical landscape of Southern Africa. The government of the San. The San people, also known as Bushmen, had a unique system of governance. They did not have chiefs or kings, and decisions were made by common agreement or consensus among the community members. Leadership was not clearly defined, but there was equality and mutual respect in the running of the affairs of the community. Each government consisted of a headman and a council of elders who held regular meetings that were open to all adult males in the village. This democratic approach allowed every adult male to participate in the affairs of the whole community. The San people's democratic model is a testament to their belief in equality and shared decision making. Similarities between the two communities. Two groups of people lived in close proximity to one another. They shared several similarities in terms of their physical appearance, language, and way of life. Firstly, they both have yellowish brown in color. Additionally, they tended to be short and stout, with similar physical features. Secondly, they were both nomadic, meaning that they traveled from place to place in search of resources and shelter. Lastly, they shared similarities in their languages, as both incorporated click sounds. These similarities likely helped to foster a sense of community and mutual understanding between the two groups. Despite their differences, they were able to coexist and share a unique cultural heritage. Differences between the two communities. The Khoikhoi and the San were two distinct groups that inhabited Southern Africa for thousands of years. The Khoikhoi were primarily cattle keepers, relying heavily on their livestock for food and trade. Meanwhile, the San tribe were hunters and gatherers who relied on the environment for their sustenance. These differences in their livelihoods eventually led to the development of distinct political organizations. The Khoikhoi were led by chiefs who wielded authority over their respective groups. In contrast, The San tribe did not have a defined leader, and decision-making process was based on consensus. Despite their differences, the Khoikhoi and the San tribe coexisted and traded with each other for centuries. The role of traditional forms of government in society. In ancient societies, the role of leaders was crucial in the community's well-being. They brought together different groups of people under one leader and ensured the freedom of the community. Additionally, they provided individuals with a sense of belonging, settling disputes among members, officiating ceremonies, and giving guidance on various matters. The laws, customs, and taboos enforced by leaders were instrumental in bringing order to the society, preserving cultural practices, and training future leaders. The leaders understood the community's values, norms, and perspectives and worked towards preserving them and promoting them. As such, the leaders played an essential role in development and maintenance of a robust, harmonious community.